Hi, good day. Thank you for coming to my talk. The talk of today is blockchain in the food industry, and my name is Irena Soljic. So why am I giving this talk? Well, I have a very long work experience in the food industry. I also have a PhD in bioscience engineering, in food science and technology. So I've been working for over 12 years in various food industry organizations. I have worked as assistant professor at the University of Ghent in Belgium. Then after that, as an account manager in Thermo Fisher Scientific, which is a corporate entity, as general secretary in Global Harmonization Initiative for 9 years. It's an organization gathering 1,500 food scientists worldwide. Then as a food science lead and product manager in Paleo. Paleo is a Belgian Series A startup. And currently I'm transitioning into a role of COO at Metabelly. We are developing a health intelligence software for gastroenterologists. So, some hobbies of mine. I practice martial arts, Japanese swordsmanship, and I just obtained the 3rd rank. And then also in my spare time, I read and I invest in cryptocurrency, and I read about blockchain applications in the food industry. So what are we going to talk about today? 3 topics. First is agri-food systems. Second is circular economy in the agri-food systems. And thirdly, tokenization of circular economy in the agri-food system. So a bit niche of a niche of a niche. Let's define first agri-food system. What does that mean? How big is that market? So, in weight, this is 11 billion tons of food produced annually. How much is that? It's lining up a line of trucks 13,800 times around the equator. The equator is 40,075 kilometers long, so quite a long line of trucks. And then how big is the market in financial sense? $3.5 trillion in 2018, and how to visualize that? Having a stack of dollars 1,000 times from the moon, from the Earth to the moon and back, which is 384,000 kilometers. How many people work in the food industry? Where is my pointer? Well, we will improvise. 1.23 billion people. And what does it entail, the food industry? Well, there are some direct players and there are some indirect players. So direct players are, for example, producers, farmers, and logistics, and then indirect players will be, for example, government. And for all of us, we have the task to produce food responsibly, ensure reliable supply, to ensure a healthy population. How does circular economy play in agri-food systems? This goes into the zero emissions goal in 2030. So in food technology and the food industry, this is a trend for the last 10 years. Circular economy is based on 3 initial principles. One is reduce, reuse, 3 initial principles: reduce, reuse, and recycle. You will see in the future, as literature was developing, these principles also expanded. But let's keep it simple, right? So let's keep reduce, reuse, and recycle. How does it work in the economy? So what are the use cases? It's used to enhance resource efficiency, to prevent food loss and waste, and to adopt regenerative agriculture. One example that I placed here is of a friend of mine in Belgium. Their name is Glimpse Bio. They're a waste valorization management company. And their use case is to use coffee grounds into soap. Coffee grounds are, of course, a byproduct of coffee production, and they partnered up with Christains. Christains is a Belgian, maybe this is it. Maybe. You said to move the microphone, but
Sorry about this.
no worries.
May I?
Sure. Yeah. Is that better?
Like this.
Yeah? Perfect. Yeah. Cool. So we go back to Glimpse Bio. By the way, there is a QR code there if you want to know a bit more about them. They valorize, they're a waste valorization management company, and they use coffee grounds into soap. One more use case, for example, using coffee grounds into cement, apparently very promising to replace sand. And thirdly, an example in Croatia. So Dukat, the leading dairy company, recycles their packaging, takes away the paper, uses it to make toilet paper, and takes away the aluminium, uses it to make holders for toilet paper. Cool example. But how how does blockchain play into the circular economy? There are a few examples that I chose, many more as well. So blockchains can enhance the circular economy by improving data utility. So this means real-time data sharing between, for example, farmers and processors, improving the efficiency of the chain. Then supply chain management. This is very useful for resource planning. For example, you are a farmer, you need fertilizer, you enter this in your database, and your supplier can immediately react and give you that fertilizer, thus anticipating your need. And of course, also the distributor that you send your product to also knows if you will deliver on time or not, and what is the reason. Then eco-efficiency. One good example is waste reduction through proper forecasting and evading overproduction of your material. And the last and the most well-known example of blockchain applications in the food industry, also in circular economy, is traceability. This is because we all as consumers, we are interested where our food comes from, has it been kept in proper storage, did the people who brought you the food respect the food chain, the cold chain, and is it what it says it is? So if they say that it's champagne, did it really come from Champagne? Then we go to tokenization. I will present some findings from study made in Wageningen. Wageningen is the alpha and omega of my field. So their university is the strongest university in the world. For my field, they are establishing all of the innovations and implementing those innovations, which is more important than just having a framework. So for me to learn what was tokenization, I took out a couple of definitions and let's say interesting info. Tokenization will imply the process of substituting a surrogate value for a sensitive data value in a data processing system. And for me, what was the most important there is this surrogate value for a data value. I found this very cool, don't read it, it's a very, very crowded slide, but I found it interesting because it helps people like me who are not from the software development industry and who are amateurs in blockchain. It helps me have an idea how to implement something in my industry. This is, by the way, the link to the article. If you want these articles, I'm very happy to send them to you. You will see my information later on. So this is Oliveira et al., 2018. The name of the article is To Token or Not to Token, and then something else. Archetype, class, main purpose, and description, and I will just read quickly through the archetypes. So, and you are obviously familiar, most of you are familiar with these archetypes. So cryptocurrency, equity token, funding token, consensus, work token, voting token, asset token, and payment token. And I will go then to the next slide. Now this is a framework taken from the article that I was talking to you about, so from Van Wassenaar. from Wageningen University. And the framework is, I'm walking back and forth, but it's easier to show. So the framework is divided into 3 pillars. The circularity principles, as you can see here, they are expanded from reduce, reuse, recycle. We have also recover, redesign, and remanufacture. As the thought develops, so does the terminology develop. This in blue are the agri-food system framework condensed into a single image. I will first mention the physical processes. So what are the physical processes that are going on in the food system? This is farming, for example, input supply, logistics, processing, retail, and us as consumers. To manage these processes, we have the business management processes, so planning of production, monitoring of the production process, for example, controlling temperature, pH, whatever is necessary for you to get a good product, and then organizing, for example, workflows. And then the third, so these two, they are oriented to the producer itself or one entity. And then you have still the entire ecosystem, so the business ecosystem structure, where processes are integrated and managed through the ecosystem. What are the tokenizing possibilities that the authors are talking about? So there are 2 ways, through the governance system and through a ledger system. The governance system will reward collaborations, so let's say validate the transactions in nodes. And then the ledger system can be used for tracking physical and virtual objects inside the food system. This is an ugly graph, but it's also taken as an example of 3, well, I chose 3 examples in the industry, so already being implemented. So this table divides again from the framework before, circular agri-food systems, path to tokenizations, and then circular economy principles. 3 companies that I've chosen, they seemed interesting to mention here today. Bext 360. They are involved in traceability, and they are following worker space, electricity use, water use, and carbon expenditure from farm to retail. Green Token, they are a company that rewards organizations and individuals that contribute to a more sustainable system. And Origin Trail, they are based in Ljubljana, which I found out later, cool. They are an AI knowledge sharing platform, that's how they brand themselves, and they have their own utility token. And they are, one of the use cases that they have is this traceability in the agri-food chain. I also wanted, other than industry examples, to give you an example of academic article. So this is circular plastic supply chain. How do you use tokenization in the recycling world? This picture here, this is the authors, so this is Wenkmuller in 2023. This is their picture of how, in the perfect world, tokenization in the food industry would work. So the entire ecosystem, you scan your bottle through a smartphone app, then tokenization, and then certain kinds of rewards that you can have as a user for correct behavior. So they did a very interesting experiment. There was 280, this is, by the way, a collaboration between the Technical Institute in Vienna and Coca-Cola. There were 280 participants in an Austrian airport where they were selling on 10 places Coca-Cola bottles that you could scan and recycle. Of the 280 participants, 54 decided to enter the program, thus having a 19% adoption rate. Of the 54, they bought 171 bottles. 176 bottles, and of these 176 bottles, 131 were scanned and returned, giving a 75% collection rate. And which rewards did they choose? There was an option to participate in a game between the participants. There was an option to have lottery tickets or donation, and 50% of them chose to donate this to charity. In conclusion, so how does tokenization play in the circular economy in agri-food systems? Increasing reuse and recycling by managing inventory and distribution, then enabling consumer insights and helping assess consumer preferences, which can guide your business into different adaptations. And so the overall impact would be promoting sustainability and economic benefits by aligning with environmental goals and consumer expectations. So my name is Irena. This is my LinkedIn profile. If you want to talk food industry and applications, if you want to work together, please contact me. That's good. Maybe later over a beer. Thank you.